The Lonely Lake Monster, Chapter 17, Sink or Swim. Pearl inhaled deeply, then dove into the murky water. Her flip-flop floated away, but she didn't care. Where was he? Kicking, she pushed forward. Please, 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 she thought as she reached in front, then to both sides, grasping lily pad stems between her fingers. A fish bumped into her hand, then swam away. Just as she was about to run out of air, she found something solid. She pulled with all her might. He was so heavy. Up, up, up she pulled until they burst into the surface. Gasping, Pearl and the leprechaun lay in the shallows next to the island. "Your apron," she said, between deep breaths. "You can't swim in it. It's too heavy. You'll have to leave it here." "Cobblestone will never leave his tools," he declared. His big round ears poked out from his drenched hair. "But we're so close to escaping," she said, wiping a piece of lily pad from her face. "Can't you buy new tools?" "These tools be ancient." He sneezed and water shot out of his ears. "These tools are the reason why Cobblestone be the best cobbler in all the imaginary world." Having reached the other side, Ben climbed onto the dock and stood at the edge, his lab coat clinging to his shivering body. "What's going on? Hurry up!" he called. The lake monster didn't seem to care one bit that Ben had escaped. It continued to chirp at its reflection. Pearl's mind raced. There had to be some way to get across the lake with the heavy apron. That's when she noticed the plastic pot floating past. She reached out and grabbed it. "Put your apron in here," she said. "We can push it across." The apron fit inside, along with the leprechaun's boots. As they swam, he and Pearl took turns pushing the pot. The lake monster paid no mind, smiling, toothy green at its reflection. Once they'd reached the opposite shore, Ben helped them out of the water. The leprechaun put on his boots and apron and poured his gold coins into the plastic golden pot. "Cobblestone likes his new pot," he said. Then he started coughing. "We need to get back," Ben urged. Pearl couldn't agree more. Barefoot, she led the way. The leprechaun carried his gold as if it weighed nothing more than a handful of feathers. It seemed silly to Pearl that the leprechaun rated a level 3 on the danger scale. He hadn't been one bit dangerous. But maybe that was only because his magic had been clogged by Sniffles and Snot. They slipped into the hospital and rode the conveyor belt back to the steam room, where the air was warm and mentholated. The leprechaun sneezed 3 times in a row. Water dripped from the apron-soaked leather, and he began to shiver all over. Pearl found a blanket in the closet, but it didn't warm him up. "He's really sick," she said. "Yeah," Ben agreed. "I don't feel so well either." He sneezed, and Pearl couldn't believe her eyes. Gold dust shot out of Ben's nose. "Wow," she said. "How'd you do that?" "I don't know." His nostrils sparkled as if he'd stuck his head into a bowl of glitter. "But that was pretty awesome." "There is nothing awesome about catching a leprechaun cold," a voice said. Pearl turned around and found herself staring at a plaid vest.